Alrighty guys, we're back for some springtime jank, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? A little bit of a springtime theme because I'm recording this on the first day of spring. So we got 4 Spring-Leaf Avengers. This is a 5 mana 6/5 with Ninjutsu for 3 and a green. So we're really looking at this as a 4-drop card. Whenever Spring-Leaf Avenger deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Not half bad, guys. So if we're looking at this as a 4-drop 6/5, that is some pretty decent stats, right? So what else do we got packed in here for the spring theme? Well, we got Invigorating Hot Spring. It's a 3 mana enchantment. Invigorating Hot Spring enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Modified creatures you control have haste. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Invigorating Hot Spring. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery and only once each turn. Okay. Now, the +1/+1 counters don't really work terrifically with ninjutsu abilities because obviously if you're sending your creatures back to your hand, you're losing those counters. But overall, I think Hot Spring will be pretty decent in here because we're not always going to see ninjutsu and we're going to have a lot of creatures that are just getting damage through. And so that extra little bit of damage goes a long way. Well, what else do we got for the spring theme? Phoenix Chick, because when I think springtime, I think baby chickens. So it's a 1 mana 1/1. What am I doing? You guys know Phoenix Chick, right? It's actually going to be perfect in here because of that flying. You're swinging on in with Phoenix Chick, and maybe you spend that 4 mana to bring a Spring-Leaf Avenger down, bring the Phoenix Chick back to your hand, which of course, when you play it out next turn, it still has that haste. So nice, good stuff, huh? Is that everything with the spring theme? Kinda, sorta. Yeah, let's go over the rest of the build. We got a couple Fading Hopes. We'll see if this should just be more protection for our creatures, maybe. I'm not really sure. Like, Fading Hope kind of just delays the inevitable from your opponents, but I think that might be enough for this build, so we'll see. Got a couple Network Disruptors working with the small rogue theme we got in here, and of course tapping target permanent is good. It works well with the ninjutsu because it brings it back to your hand. You can play it again next turn, tap another target permanent. Sounds cool. Got a single slip out the back for our just 1 piece of protection in the build, and it's also something you could do to your opponent's creatures to make it so that way they can't block, so that could really come in handy to help you get that last little bit of damage through. Got all 4 Mercurial Spelldancers. Yeah, I think I actually pronounced that right for once. I'm not really sure. It's a 2 mana 2/1 and it can't be blocked. Nice. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Mercurial Spelldancer. When Spelldancer deals combat damage to a player, you may remove 2 oil counters from it. If you do, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So the ability might come in handy in this build. Not really sure. It's really in here because it's a rogue and it can't be blocked. But yeah, the ability technically does have some decent things to copy, like Lightning Strike, for example. We're rocking all 4 of these. Just a terrific card. So yeah. We got 4 Suspicious Stowaways. It's a 2 mana 1/1 and it can't be blocked. When Suspicious Stowaway deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. And then if it's nighttime, it's Seafaring Werewolf, which is a 2/1, and instead of discarding that card, you just straight up draw a card, which could be absolutely disgusting. See, I think like giving these guys haste off of the Invigorating Hot Springs, you're kind of getting into yeah, at that point, what, turn 4, and then turn 5, and then turn 6. So giving these guys haste could help you close out a game, honestly, and giving something like Suspicious Stowaway haste is actually really good because it helps you filter through your hand on that exact same turn. So yeah, I think that'll be cool. Okay, Prosperous Thief and Jewel Thief here in the 3-drop spots. I think the extra treasure token from the Jewel Thief is going to be sweet, and it's a rogue, and it has trample, and it obviously works beautifully with Hot Spring, giving a Jewel Thief a +1/+1 counter and haste for a 3-mana Vigilance Trample Haste 4/4 sounds really good, huh? So yeah, another reason for the Hot Spring, I guess. I'm really trying to justify the Hot Spring in here, huh? And then Jewel Thief is another great way to ramp and get more treasures, which of course is just more mana fixing too. And we're kind of looking at this as a 2-drop, but it really depends because you have to see one of your 1-drop flyers early on too then. We do have 6 of them in here, right? So turn 1, Phoenix Chick, swing for 1. Turn 2, swing with Phoenix Chick, Ninjutsu out the Jewel Thief. Jewel Thief gets in for the 3, and then you create a treasure token. Sounds really good, huh? You can use that treasure token, keep open a Fading Hope, or keep open the Slip out the back to protect the Prosperous Thief. So it's a lot to think about there, I suppose. 2 more cards in the build, guys. We have a Sword of Forge and Frontier. This is a 3-mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and green. So protection, so it can't be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, enchanted, or equipped by anything red, right? So targeted, and so that is a little bit of anti-synergy with Invigorating Hot Springs, which of course you have to target to give a +1/+1 counter, but I'm not too concerned about that because we're really looking at this because we have so many unblockable creatures and so many flying creatures as well, because whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn. That's actually a really solid ability. I'm interested to see if this 1-of actually will do anything. And just honestly, +2/+2 isn't half bad if you're equipping that to like a Stowaway and it can't be blocked. It's a lot of extra damage every turn. We are seeing a lot of red recently too, so yeah, I don't know, we'll see. And a Reservoir Kraken sitting here on the top end as well. A 4-mana 6/6 Trample Ward 2. Really good stats. At the beginning of each combat, if Reservoir Kraken is untapped, an opponent may tap an untapped creature they control. If they do, tap Reservoir Kraken and create a 1/1 bluefish creature token with this creature can't be blocked. I think Reservoir Kraken is actually pretty decent. I think it's just really looking for a home, and it's too bad it's going to be rotating out this year. Yeah, I think this is just pretty great, honestly. But the meta is strange and very powerful. Okay, Nightmare Fuel of a mana base that I thought about for a little while. We actually have an even split of red and green, so that made it a little bit easier to put the mana base together, but honestly, we probably want more dual lands and less of all of this nonsense up here, but we are rocking a Who Endures, Crucible of Defiance, and Soaring City. I don't think the mana base will hold us back too much. I think we'll be fine overall. I think we'll draw fine, hopefully, right? We got some honorable mentions over here. Thousand Face Shadow almost made the cut. Play with Fire almost made the cut. Giant Growth, I was thinking maybe for the springtime theme, but not this time round. Fairy Vandal was almost the pick over the Spelldancer. I think the Spelldancer just straight up can't be blocked over the flying with the Vandal is going to be a little bit better. And then the extra counters on here, it was like I was saying for the Hot Spring, the extra counters on your creature doesn't pair beautifully with the Ninjutsu creatures between the Thief and the Spring-Leaf. So yeah, I opted for the Spelldancer instead. I thought about counter spells for this build, guys. Make Disappear and Negate almost made the cut, but not this time round. I think if the Fairy Vandal did make the cut, then the counter spells would be a little better because of that flash, but yeah, not this time round. And March of the Swirling Mist also almost made the list. It's actually just a really solid card, and it has March in the title, you know? And it's March 20th, the first day of spring, so almost made the cut, not this time round though. Okay guys, some springtime jank. I'm actually really excited to see if it's gonna do anything. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. Man, it took me forever to go over this deck. I apologize, guys. My goodness. Although I know some of you guys have told me in the past that you appreciate the longer intros going over the deck, but okay, look, we have all 3 of our mana colors here. It's all slow land, but you can't complain too much. I mean, I guess we could complain a little. We are going first too. It's fine, it's fine. I don't think we mulligan this, even though it's slow land. I think this is fine. Oh, you know what I should have done? We should have played Stormcarved Coast because we could totally top deck a Phoenix Chick and not be able to play it now. Ah, okay, there we go. There we go, that works. Okay, it's going to be Spelldancer over Stowaway, because this is non-creature spell, and we might play Hot Spring next turn, and then a turn for Jewel Thief. Wow, the lines of play, actually, huh? Lay down arms! You monster! Oh, there's the Phoenix Chick. Alright, well. Yeah, what the heck, let's go Hot Spring. We could have went Jewel Thief, spent the treasure for Phoenix Chick, but we could also do that next turn too, and then give haste to the Jewel Thief. So just having the Hot Spring down is totally fine. Also has our creatures avoiding sorcery speed removal here too, so. Wedding announcement hits the table. Okay, land is fine. I might actually... We could save the treasure. I'm gonna save the treasure. We're gonna swing here. That's pretty cool, guys. It's pretty cool. There's it's actually kind of strange having Phoenix Chick in this style of build, but it totally makes sense with that flying and the ninjutsu abilities. Wow, they go depopulate. Wow, depopulate for 2 creatures. I mean, I guess it makes sense because Jewel Thief, but yeah. Good thing we can keep giving haste. We could filter a Stowaway. And probably ditch the other Stowaway, right? We can only give one thing haste. We can only do this once a turn. So let's see. Probably ditch the other Stowaway, right? Network Disruptor. Actually, we might want to keep filtering with the Stowaways, huh? We might want to do that. Okay. Actually, Network Disruptor would have been a good one to get rid of too. The thought process here was to play everything, but now I feel like Depopulate number 2 is gonna hit the board. You know what? It's fine. It's totally fine. If they want to drop a second Depopulate, everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine. We could also have played around it too and just kept maybe the single Stowaway on the board. I don't know. Mono white mid-range is a very tough one regardless of what deck you're playing, and so we're probably on the run either way. And so I guess if we just go all out and we get a little lucky and they don't have another board wipe, like look, it's just going to be a Wandering Emperor, huh? Okay, gain some life back. They're back up to 15. Wedding announcement flips. Fading Hope's pretty good. The good news is we get to take out the Wandering Emperor. We might save the counters here. Or maybe not, maybe not. Maybe not. We'll save like one counter. Swing, swing. Yeah, Fading Hope's decent, but we might discard it depending on what we see off the Stowaway. Phoenix Chick, okay. I'll save the Phoenix Chick for next turn, probably, and then maybe we won't have double red to bring the other chick back then. That could still be good. I'm gonna keep the Phoenix Chick. Yeah. Like, we could play it this turn, but now I am playing around a second Depopulate, you know what I mean? Like, if we played it that turn, and then we swung with 3, we'd have the 2 red mana open for next turn. Aw, they got rid of my Hot Spring. That's not nice. It is actually going to switch back to daytime, unfortunately, too, since they played 2 cards. Yeah, they can't block on the ground anyways, so they might as well swing. We get a red source off the top here. Ooh, woohoo! Spring-Leaf Avenger. All right. That's good, guys. That's really good. What a top deck, dude. What a top deck. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited right now. We could ditch the Network Disruptor. This is 8 damage going through, guys. That is sick. Oh man. And what do we bring back from the grave, do you guys suppose? I guess we'll do Suspicious Stowaways first. Oh, I guess that's right, we have to choose the targets regardless, don't we? Invigorating Hot Spring could be alright to bring back. Jewel Thief could be alright to bring back. Let's go with Jewel Thief just for the sake of having more creatures. They have good blockers though. Let's go Spelldancer. Let's go Spelldancer. Okay, another Stowaway. I guess we'll ditch the Disruptor. Keep Stowaway. Any of these unblockable creatures is gonna be great, probably. Switch is back to nighttime because Ninjutsu doesn't count as actually casting. I think that's the correct wording of it, right? Yeah, it doesn't count as... Oh, wow. They know they can block the Spring-Leaf Avenger, so they decide to get rid of the unblockable... The chunky unblockable creature. Okay. If we had one more mana, oh man, we could have dropped Phoenix Chick and then the Spring-Leaf Avenger here. Still might be Phoenix Chick, make sure we can take out Wandering Emperor. And then probably Spelldancer. It's gonna switch back to daytime. They probably double block the Spring-Leaf, which I think is fine. Get rid of some of their cards here. So we'll swing. And if we save it back, next turn we might be able to bring back... You know what? I'm just gonna save it. Because next turn we could bring back the other Phoenix Chick from the grave if we actually can get 3 creatures to swing in with.
I'm never done for...
If we can save 3 creatures on the board, I should say. Gonna go Spelldancer. It's a little bit more damage than the Stowaway. I doubt we'll have 3 creatures on the board. But I think that's worthwhile. So it switches back to day. Okay, I like the deck so far, guys. It's playing out pretty nicely. Some good synergies going on here. And up against mono white mid-range / control. I mean, we're doing pretty good so far, I feel. Ossification probably hit the Avenger. Oh, yep, they know they can block the Avenger. I guess that's still the idea there. We have the second Avenger in hand if we just want to swing Phoenix Chick and hit their face for 6. If we swing on the ground and they end up double blocking here, losing a couple creatures, I think we still hold this back. And I think we go Spring-Leaf Avenger, just hit face. How do you guys feel about that? I think that's totally fine. A match made in heaven, guys. Phoenix Chick and Spring-Leaf Avenger. Literally the biggest part of the springtime theme in the build. And it's a match made in heaven. I love it so far. Down to 1. Let's bring back Phoenix Chick, right? So we can double down and swing in the air next turn. Because we have 2 red sources on the board. We might as well just keep on going hasty. They don't have anything, any flyers in the air right now. I think that's totally fine, and we don't have a guaranteed 3rd red source. If we top deck a 3rd red source, then we would have grabbed something else from the grave, but yeah. We'll see, guys. This is anyone's match. I'm trying to think the best way for them to gain life and whatnot. I guess it would be another Wandering Emperor would be the best way. They're searching. They found a 4th Plains, which means it could be a Wandering Emperor, take out the Avenger. Yeah, they know we have the Phoenix Chick in hand, so... Yep, GG opponent! Let's go, guys! What a great first game! That was awesome, man. Our janky little springtime build actually doing something. I'm quite proud of that. That was awesome. Let's let's go into the next one. That was really fun. I'll tell you what, man. Just the ninjutsu for 4 on a 6/5? Dude, that thing just slams damage through. Holy cow. We played with it in the past, too, and had the exact same thoughts. Like, okay, this is a little bit of a faster mana base this time, but a little bit of a worse hand here because we don't have any of our 1s or 2s. Creatures, of course. I think we still keep this. I don't think this is a mulligan style hand. Not when the mana's being kind to you, you know what I mean? Okay, another lightning strike. Alright. At least we have removal available if this is Azora Soldiers, but might just be control with a... Ooh. Could be Jeskai control, actually. I think we hold the lightning strike back, because it's still... I don't really know. There's a Phoenix Chick. Yeah, really slow start from us, guys. If this is control, that's really bad news. Phoenix Chick is a good draw. We're going to be taking some damage here, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it matters too much. Whoop. Auto pay. Pretty cool turn 3, honestly. Just play the chick out this turn. It has haste, so we could just do this next turn, actually. End turn, because we might be able to go Spring-Leaf Avenger here. With 3 open, that's gotta be something, man. It's gotta be something. Alright, let's attempt the swing. You know what would be pretty great if this was just burn over there? Or even a counter spell, because ninjutsu's pretty hard to counter. If it's burn, this is a 6/5. So I guess it could just be a Fateful Absence. Oh, Union of the Third Path. Okay. Well, they did gain a good chunk of yeah, life back, but at least we have a 6/5 on the board for now, I guess. Yeah, it's Jeskai control, guys, so this is going to be an uphill battle for sure, especially since we didn't get a chance to plug in a lot of damage throughout this game. Copperline Gorge comes in tapped, unfortunately. I think we start with a swing on Avenger, or try the Prosperous Thief nonsense again. That's probably pretty good. Especially since, like, a Wandering Emperor would pick up the Avenger instead, right? And so Prosperous Thief will get us taking a lot of damage. Prosperous Thief will try to get us a treasure. When Wandering Emperor picks up Avenger, they gain 2. 4 mana available next turn, so like, oh, big score, it's not an Emperor, guys. That could be huge for us. They still have 2 mana open, so it still could be like a Fateful Absence of some kind, but wow, plugging in that damage. All right, nothing in our grave for Avenger. Phoenix Chick has that haste. We're just gonna keep the Fading Hope available. I think that is totally fine. Could be a Wandering Emperor this turn. They try to pick something up, we'll go Fading Hope onto our own creature. Could be decent. There's actually quite a few decisions to make. Like, we have double Lightning Strike in hand too, so they are getting to that point. They are getting low enough. Oh my, well, they're taking an extra turn. Not much we can do about that. Although, I wonder if they were sweating. This could have been like a spell pierce. They could have been sweating. 6 mana Farewell is now available. And again, Fading Hope's pretty decent. I wonder which one we save, because we don't have a guaranteed 5th mana then. If we use a Fading Hope on the Avenger. Wow, it's not a board wipe. The opponent might be getting a little unlucky here, guys, if I'm being real with you. Yeah, GG, wow. Wow. I mean, that's definitely the type of deck that just runs spot removal too. So, yeah. I think we got a little lucky there, guys. Even though our hand was relatively slow, it didn't look like the opponent was seeing too much. Nice. I'll take the victory, man. I'll take it. Let's go into the next one, guys. We're doing great with our spring theme deck. I like it so far. Seriously though, Phoenix Chick is beautiful with all the ninjutsu abilities, so generally speaking, like ninjutsu, you need the blue for at least some of them. There's that 1/2 drop. Oh, see, slow, no green. Okay, this is the first mulligan. This is it has to be a mulligan, right? Yeah, I think so. We could risk it, but there we go. I like all 3 of the land, but technically we only need 2 for now, and we might see more. But we might just want to send the double Phoenix Chick, send one of these back. I changed my mind. Phoenix Chick can do a lot. I'm just going to send the forest. Since we have majority land in the deck anyways, 23 land total, I believe, so it's a good chance we'll just see a 3rd off the top. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Phoenix Chick number 2. Swing on in. And we might start with Invigorating Hot Springs again over the Jewel Thief. Depends what we draw here. More land. Eee. Alright, it's going to be Hot Springs, so we can give Jewel Thief haste next turn. They drop us the nice thank you, opponent. It's one of my springtime theme cards. Galagreeters, okay. That's scary. Bant. That's pretty scary, actually. Stowaway's great. Stowaway's pretty great. We might actually want to save a card in hand to discard to Stowaway next turn. Although playing the mana out's fine too. I think we'll save the coast to discard to the Stowaway next turn, since we can give it haste. I think that's fine. How you guys feel about that? They can gain off the Galagreeters. They do. They go up to 7. 3 mana available. Galagreeters can only gain life once. They go for treasure token for next turn. Hopefully we can wrap this up. 3 damage in the air off of Phoenix Chick. 2 damage off of Stowaway, and trample on the Jewel Thief should just be enough to do it. A second Jewel Thief is actually perfect, isn't it? Because of the trample. Give it haste. These can't block over here, and yeah, GG opponent. Wow. Wow, see, their last open source, that could have been something. It did have blue, so it could have been a Fading Hope. I don't think this is the style of deck that would run a Fading Hope, but we're doing great so far, guys. We're doing terrific. I can't imagine it'll keep up, but the deck is doing things, so maybe. It's a good time so far. It's definitely well out of the meta zone, so. Okay, that's a lot of land. But decent creatures. Stowaway helps us filter. Okay, we keep this. We'll probably just start with the coast, so that way when we start playing these blue cards, we don't have to take damage off of Reef. Other than that, if we had a 1 mana card, then it would have been the Copperline Gorge. But I think this is fine. Now we get the Gorge down. And we're gonna go Spelldancer, because we could top deck, like, something that boosts the Spelldancer. Or gives it a oil counter, I should say. Yeah, hopefully we don't draw more mana next turn. That would be a little concerning, but then hopefully Stowaway does a lot for us. A Braid! Okay. Aww, Prosperous Thief. I mean, that's a good draw. I was just thinking now we can't do it, though. Not sure that's what we would have wanted to do. Just straight up play the Prosperous Thief. That'd be fine, too. You know what? I'm going to. Just for the sake of using mana, we have nothing else to do in hand. We could play one of our 2 mana cards, but then what are we going to do with that? We're just going to ninjutsu out the Prosperous Thief? I mean, I guess. I guess so. Nice. Lightning Strike's good. We can at least pick up the Harvester here. Want to get the second blue source down, too, over the forest, which is probably what we ditched to the Stowaway when it comes time. Let's actually go Spelldancer instead of Stowaway this turn, and then go Lightning Strike onto Harvester. Get an oil counter on the Dancer. And then swing with Thief, get a treasure, and hope we don't see any more mana for the rest of the game. Good news, guys. This was not a cut down. That is good. 4 mana. Unleash the Inferno. Wow. Wow. They take out the Spelldancer. You know what? I will grab a red source off of that. Resolve. Okay, pass. Oh, more mana. Oh, no. Oh, no, not again, guys. I mean, not in this video. The other day, we flooded out really bad. They're tapped out. I'm just going to play Stowaway now instead of main phase 2. Well, anything off the top is going to be better. See, if we would have played Stowaway earlier, maybe we could have started filtering through this land earlier too, which really, you know, you never know. Instead of playing the Prosperous Thief, maybe we've needed the Stowaway on this board to help us filter through these lands. Scrap Gorger, pick up a Spelldancer. Yeah, that's cool. Gives it haste. We get to untap it. Cool, cool. I like it, opponent. Very cool. So Harvester blocks the Prosperous Thief really well, but they could also just... Oh, it actually has haste off of the Tyvar as well. Wow, nice. Okay, well, we can't filter a Stowaway now, which is a little bit concerning. The good news is, Phoenix Chick was a great draw. We get to take out the Tyvar this turn. And I'm going to keep the Forest in hand in case we see another Stowaway. I'd say it's worth taking out the Tyvar. Them just having a Planeswalker give them a little bit of value every turn is not a great thing. They go for the threat. They do not care about this Prosperous Thief. Another land off the top, and I suppose we swing? They trade with the Scrap Gorger. They tap it, put it to a 3/3, and they trade. We're both kind of top decking. The scary thing is they can filter their lands with the blood tokens, so excuse me, guys. Gotta get a drink of my water real quick. Scrap Gorger. Slip out the back. Aw, man. That would have been good earlier. That would have been really good earlier. It doesn't look like they're filtering, so I'm guessing that's like a Titan of Industry in their hand. That's my guess, right? Like they're saving up for the Titan. Okay, I mean, Goblin will help them get there. Get that extra treasure next turn and then play Titan of Industry, and that'll probably be the game then. I can't imagine we get through here. We lost too much of our tempo throughout the game, and wow, they really removed a lot, didn't they? Wow. Okay, my turn. Lightning Strike. Yeah, everything's too little too late. Let's go ahead. Let's get them. Let's see if they have the Titan, and at that point we'll go one more draw and we'll give it to them, unless we think they can wrap it up on the turn after the Titan, because they could go 4/4, and then we'll go ahead and let the opponent swing on in, because why not? It's fun to swing with creatures. Of course, we could slip out the back the Titan too to survive a little bit longer, so it really depends what they end up doing here. They're not picking anything up with the Scrap Gorger, surprisingly. They might be anticipating, and they could do it at the end of our turn too. Oh, Atraxa. Oh, okay. I see. I mean, technically slip out the back still kinda sorta does a thing. So Lightning Strike on the 2/2 could have been fine too, but I was kinda like, this was my version of conceding, trying to like let them play it out, get their Titan down, but it wasn't a Titan, it was an Atraxa instead. Interesting. See what we draw. They don't have lethal on the board. Fading Hope. Alright, let's give it to the opponent, guys. Drop the GGs. I don't like conceding. We are getting a little later into the video, though, and I definitely want to get one full match in. It's a good game, opponent. I wish we drew less land, but I think they played it out very well, and I think the trade with the Scrap Gorger was actually a terrific trade for them, right? Losing our only creature and then after the fact seeing some protection for that creature was particularly bad. I think them taking out Stowaway too was a particularly good play as well, just kind of ignoring the other cards. Huh. Opponent goes first here. I don't know how I feel about this hand. I guess we keep it. It's like one of those things, we're playing a 3-color deck. If you have all the mana you need in your hand, then you should probably keep it, right? But at the same time, okay, we want a Cascade on the board, and then the mountain could be for the Lightning Strike next turn if we need it. Yeah, we'll go mountain over reef, so that way if we need this, we don't take a damage. So yeah, relatively slow hands sometimes, but we do have so many 1s and so many 2s that it just happens to be, it kind of is what it is, you know what I mean? Like sometimes we'll see our 3s and 4s more than our 2s and 1s. Other than that, I think this could be pretty solid. This deck really knows how to pump some extra mana onto the board with all these extra treasures, and then pretty much anything we draw after the fact. Do we Lightning Strike their face? I think we hold the Lightning Strike back again, right? Like we did that one game. I think that's fine. My hope here is this isn't a counterspell. Maybe we go Hot Springs instead of Jewel Thief, because we really need Jewel Thief to land. Hot Springs is on the board. It kind of gives the opponent another turn to draw and find more. Wow! Void Rend, guys. That's one that we don't see too often, so it must be Esper Legends, is my guess. Probably Wandering Emperor available then. I wouldn't mind getting the second green source down. Second red source is fine too. Yeah, I think Stormcarved Coast is fine. Jewel Thief. Hope that it's not a counter. Jewel Thief is great against Wandering Emperor. Because if this can land and it's just going to be removal, then Slip Out the Back is really good. Because at least we'll have protection for the turn, and we might be able to keep this on the board. And then it really hits Wandering Emperor pretty good. I honestly, I just feel like the deck has, it kind of outperformed my expectations today, like big time. Okay, this could be a counter spell, but I think it's worth, oh, it's not. Nice. Jewel Thief is around, and they can't even drop like a Depopulate this turn because it is phased out. Nice. Our one piece of protection actually doing something. Technically, Fading Hope acts as protection in the build too, though. Because you can Fading Hope your own creatures, and then some of our creatures have ETBs like Jewel Thief, so... Totally works as well. They pass Fading Hope. Wow, okay. We might want to talk about 22 land in here, guys. We might. But at the same time, you do want to see your 4th often for the Spring-Leaf Avenger. Alright, we go for the swing. And we probably just outright cast Prosperous Thief, right? Go for the swing. We take 4. I am getting a little concerned about running into a board wipe soon, but we still have 3 mana open, so we have Fading Hope and the Lightning Strike available. Just giving them so many turns. Actually, are they missing mana? How many turns have they not found their 5th? I wasn't paying too much attention there, I guess. Dissipate. Alright. That is fine. What is our hope, guys? What do we really want to see? I don't know. Just more creatures, I guess. More creatures would be ideal. We're gonna use the Lightning Strike. Maybe they'll counter it, and then whatever we draw might be safe next turn to actually just cast. Still Fading Hope open. Crucible. Okay. We'll go Crucible, keep Fading Hope. They have haste, so swinging in with a couple extra creatures is totally fine. And we're going to keep the Reef back to filter out if we see the Stowaway. There's the Wandering Emperor. Okay. I think we still just keep the Fading Hope, let them gain their 2. Or I guess they'll make a creature, actually, to block one of the... Alright, fine. Lightning Strike? Alright, fine. I'm not entirely sure what we're looking for. Like I said, I guess we're looking for creatures, but if we keep... Like, there's a possibility they don't have anything for these creatures on the board, so Lightning Strike to their face and mixed with the Jewel Thief's Trample is actually just really good. They have enough mana for the Farewell now. Yeah, Farewell hits the board. Oh no, that's so bad. They can... I guess we can go... I guess we want to... Oh man. Lightning Strike the Wandering Emperor. Ah, geez, and we want to do it on our turn so they can't counter this, I guess. Yeah, I think getting rid of the Emperor before they start giving counters and then creating more Samurais... I guess it's okay, and I'm still going to keep the land back. Yeah, Farewell's a pain, guys. I think this was actually looking pretty decent overall, though. For how slow the opening turns were, I think this was looking pretty decent. Spelldancer's great, man. Can you imagine actually getting that Spelldancer a little earlier and then eventually copying that Lightning Strike, too? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Dissipate number 2 hits the board, guys, and it's not looking great. It's not looking great for us at all. We'll do a couple more draws, and we'll also see if they can find their win condition to wrap up the game, but then we'll probably give it to them because sometimes these games take a very long time to wrap up. Ooh. Yeah, we'll just outright cast it. Any creature is great off the top right now. Any creature off the top. Unfortunately, their Samurai blocks so well. Oh, yep, it blocks even better now. They can... Oh, they're actually going wide instead. So I thought it was going to be +1 counter to a 3/3, and then on their turn, +1 counter to a 4/4, and then start swinging with the 4/4 Vigilance. Ah, but they had more removal in hand anyways. Dang, just straight up Esper control, guys. Very scary business, and they can power up Bankbuster, but they'd rather draw here. All right, well, let them play this out. I don't think it's going to take them too long now that the Wandering Emperor #2 is rolling. Another land off the top, we get the green source down. And like I said, yeah, we'll let them play this out. That is totally fine. My initial thought was their win condition was going to be the White Sun's Twilight. It still might be a White Sun's Twilight deck. Or it might just be like a one of maybe to help them wrap it up, but
I have got new moves to teach you.
see, they don't want to power up Bankbuster because now they'll be able to actually get the 1/1 and then crew it up next turn with the 1/1 and still have the Samurais. Oh, Jace, nice. Jace could potentially be another win condition for that deck, technically, but it would take a lot to mill a player out. They go -4, yep. So we have 14 in the grave. Who endures? Who endures? We'll hit that Bankbuster, huh? I wonder if they actually have any basic lands in here. I wonder. Oh yeah, they do. Here's a swamp, but that might be the only basic land. No. What am I saying? For some reason, these didn't look like basic lands to me. I don't know why. Oh, of course, Rafine's Tower too. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying there. Yeah, because this says player may search library for, oh, a land card. Oh, with a basic land type. Yeah. That's right. Hey, good game, opponent. Good game. I bet it's rare that an opponent lets you actually finish up the match. So go ahead and swing in, buddy. Brutal deck, but honestly, overall, I actually think the deck could have gotten there. Had we seen a little bit more of a faster opener, we could have mulliganed too. That could have been a big, a big moment in the match. I mean, obviously the mulligan is like one of the most important moments, but you guys know what I mean. All right, let's go over the deck again. Springtime Jank, I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be, guys. The deck actually did something. We didn't see Reservoir Kraken. That kind of sucks. I would have liked to see it hit the board, as well as Sword of Forge and Frontier. I think that would have been awesome to actually see today, but not this time. Hot Spring actually did a lot overall. I really like it. I love all the unblockable creatures. Phoenix Chick is just really good, and it paired so well with the Spring-Leaf Avenger. I love it. What would I do? Honestly, I think we could actually push this into a... I don't want to call it competitive, right? That might be a little bit ridiculous of me. But I guess you could push it into more of a competitive feel, I guess, a little bit. And what would I drop then? Well, 1 mana is probably worth... It's probably worth dropping down to 22. Especially since we're ramping with Jewel Thief, we're ramping with Prosperous Thief as well. So, look, you really want to see your 4th mana, and sometimes even your 5th, but... yeah, I think 22 land would be totally fine in here. And at that point, what would you go up? Any of the honorable mentions would be fine. That negate that I was talking about would be really good. It's just kind of adds on to, it's just protection for more of your creatures. And at that point, you could think about a Spell Pierce as well, or even a couple Spell Pierce if you really wanted to. If you're running into like a lot of Invoke Despairs and stuff, the opponents usually just drop that right on turn 5. And so the Spell Pierce happens to be really good for that, right? If you go up any green or red cards, then you might have to rethink the mana base even further, because right now we do have that even split of red and green. And so what that ends up looking like then is there's our red, there's our green, and everything in between is the both of them. So we have that like even split, and then majority of blue, of course, because that's what we got over here. So yeah, if you do drop a land, you would drop the island, right, down to 22. You could, honestly, you could probably successfully drop... No, I would drop the island, and then I would go up a blue card, maybe a second Slip Out the Back to be simple about it, or a 3rd Fading Hope could be pretty good too. Other than that, you know, Sword of Forge and Frontier, might not even be the best pick for this deck anyways. Like I said, I would have loved to see it today because maybe it actually just does a ridiculous amount of things in this build. But I could see dropping it and going up a third Hot Spring just because Hot Spring did so much, and plugging in like those extra counters onto the Phoenix Chick and the Stowaway or the Spelldancer and of course Jewel Thief, like there's just so many great targets that you wouldn't mind buffing in this build at all. So yeah, that's probably what I would do. I would drop an island, go up a Fading Hope, drop the Sword of Forge and Frontier, and go up a third Hot Spring. I think that would be totally fine. I think the deck is still janky, technically, but I think it's going to be all right overall. So, yeah, nice. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.